The Sussex's cheerleader-in-chief is alleged in his highly spurious new book that the King and Prince William are locked in an increasing struggle as they compete for public approval and battle over securing the future of the monarchy. So, is it the end game for the royal family? Joining me now to discuss this are my royal masterminds, Lady C and Phil Dampier, both of you. Great stuff. Lady C, is Scobie just wrong about the future of the monarchy, do you think?
He's wrong about everything. It's ridiculous, you know. He says that the monarchy is not popular, but 66% of the people like it. He says the king is a disaster, but most people think he's done well. He says that Catherine is a disaster because she is very willing to be obliging and do what she's supposed to, and she should be criticised for that. I mean, he's got absolutely everything wrong, but he has a book to sell, he has money to make, and he's ruined himself as a royal correspondent. So he's drinking from the last chance saloon.
Okay, and Phil, I'll bring you in on this now. I mean, what do you make of some of the allegations that we've seen in this book? Apparently they've had to pull it from the shelves in the Netherlands because there was some kind of accidental misprint that may or may not have revealed the alleged royal racist.
Good evening, Patrick. I think I found the solution, actually. We should stick Omid in the jungle. Then he'd probably be as famous as Lady C. But talk about endgame. I think endgame is the word, isn't it? He started with the premise that the royal family is finished, and then he's trying to fit the facts around it, and they just aren't there. I mean, it's more popular than ever, the monarchy. It's served us well for 1,000 years. The king's doing well. The Prince and Princess of Wales are more popular than ever. And so I just don't see it. You know, he's barking up the wrong tree. You know, people are fed up with politicians, aren't they? And at the moment, you know, no one's got any good. I mean, we've had, 5 prime ministers in God knows how many years. There's no leadership there, so people like to unify around the royals, and that's why I think they're more popular than ever. And what fascinates me is the fact that countries like New Zealand and Australia, they say they want to become republics, but they're still putting it off the referendum to do it. So that shows they've even got a future there.
Yeah, absolutely. Lady C, I'll just follow up on that dramatic twist of the royal race row, because a panicked Omid Scobie has been forced to deny that he names the royal accused of questioning Archie's skin colour after the Dutch edition of his new book was dramatically pulled off the shelves, blaming a, quote, translation error. The book does reveal, however, that Meghan's claim that not one but 2 members of the royal household discussed Archie's skin colour while she was pregnant. What do you make, Lady C, of this idea of an alleged leak of the royal racist?
Well, I don't really care about who leaked what. I mean, I've already said who is supposed to have committed the offence, which was no offence whatsoever. I mean, it is, you know, I'm Jamaican and I come from a multiracial, multicultural society, and everybody speaks about what a child is going to look like if it has say a blonde parent and a dark-haired parent, or a brown parent and a white parent, you know, whether you're Italian or indeed if you're Scottish. Somebody's red-haired, somebody's dark-haired. Everybody speaks about the hair, the eyes, the colour of the skin. There's nothing racist about it. And what Meghan has tried to do is spin a perfectly ordinary, everyday practice into something racist. And I'm sorry, it doesn't wash.
OK. Phil, do you believe that Meghan and Harry have had nothing to do with the information in this book?
No, I don't, funnily enough. I mean, I think even if they haven't spoken to him recently, this is stuff that he's gleaned over the last few years, and he's definitely been in contact with him. And of course, the trouble is, you can't believe a word he says. He's lied about his age. He's lied about getting on private jets. We know that they were behind some of the information in Finding Freedom. So why should we believe him now?
Yeah, no, indeed. And what do you think, as well, Lady C, about some of these allegations about William's temper?
What about William's temper? William has a temper. I have a temper. Charles has a temper. Anybody who's under a lot of stress and who is genuine and sincere has a temper. I mean, what's the big deal? And you don't think Meghan and Harry don't have tempers? I mean, Meghan is notorious for her temper, and so's Harry. And I mean, nobody's accusing Catherine or William of abusing their staff or of bullying the staff. And we can't say the same about William and about Harry and Meghan, because they have been roundly accused by several people of abusing their staff. So what's the big deal? William has a temper. That's perfectly normal. Don't you have a temper? Everybody has a temper.
Oh, I've got a temper, Lady C. Yes, you don't want to see my temper behind the scenes. There's a litany of deeply scarred producers, all in need of massive therapy, just queuing up out there, I'm afraid. But Phil, do you think there's any truth whatsoever to this idea that William is desperate to get on the throne, and he's trying to nibble away at Charles's heels? Because that's one of the other claims in this book.
He's definitely not getting desperate to get on the phone to Harry, I can tell you that much. No, listen, it's absolute rubbish, that, isn't it? I mean, he's got 3 young children, George, Louis and Charlotte. And, they're not, if he came to the throne, just take it to its absolute extreme and say that the king abdicated in 5 years' time, the kids would still be too young to do royal duties. So they're just not ready for it yet. So everything would then be on William and Kate. So I think he's perfectly happy to wait. The king could live another 20 years. So in that time, he's got plenty of time to prepare himself. No way is he pushing to become king sooner than that.
OK, now, Lady C, I want to just inform our viewers and our listeners that I have a couple of very, very explosive clips from Nigel in the jungle to play in just a few moments' time. So we'll be revealing those to everybody. There were a lot of rumours about ITV potentially trying to airbrush Nigel out. There are a lot of rumours about them trying to do their best to stitch him up in there. So either cut him out of the TV or show deliberately provocative bits or edit it unfavourably in his direction. Lady C, you were in the jungle. I mean, do you think that's something that may well be happening?
Well, it certainly happened with me, and so I can't see why it wouldn't happen with Nigel. In fact, the morning that they finally offered me to leave, I went into the BT, and I said to them, I am sick and tired of being harassed by Tony Hadley and Duncan Bannatyne. You have allowed this to happen for 2 weeks. If I had been a working class girl made good and they had been 2 lords, you'd have shut it down 2 weeks ago. I said, you have 20 minutes, failing which I am calling my lawyer, Gerard Cookier, Chief of Litigation at Kingsley Napley. I said, you have 20 minutes, otherwise this is... And then within 20 minutes, they phoned me, they called me, they took me into the BT, and they then took me to Sandra Scott, who said, oh, we'll allow you to leave with your fee. If you normally leave early, you forfeit your fee. They said, we'll allow you to leave with your fee, and because you've had, I'd had a bad back for 2 weeks, and they've been drugging me up to do the challenges, and they decided they would use my bad back as the excuse. But no, I've never seen what happened with me, but I know what happened with me, so I don't know what everybody else saw. But they stitched me up royally, and of course they're going to stitch up Nigel. I mean, it's powerful tools.
Well, watch this space. Watch this space is all I will say. But thank you, both of you. Lovely, lovely stuff.